You're about to enter a reality made entirely of concept. So far out there, it doesn't exist, except as a parallel version of our own. A mirror held up to our bleeding soul that shows us the very nature of what it means to be alive. But as the sun sets on the horizon, we travel beyond the sight of hindsight into the fairgrounds of an abandoned park themed to resemble a twisted carnival that now only caters to the damned. The lights flicker as a beacon of light for the ghosts to come enjoy their former home on this spectral plane. Lost in the twisted darkness of the present and past colliding is a man struggling to grow facial hair while wearing a shirt that shows a canine eating spaghetti. A lunatic fringe more myth than man, teetering on the edge of a rusted Ferris wheel. The bent steel collapses under the weight of expectations, plummeting the man and the captive audience straight to Casino's Corner.
God damn it. I almost wore that sweater too. I really almost wore that sweater today.
We're in Casino's Corner, so what would you like to share with us today, Casino?
Well, let's start off since it's been spooky. I'm going to start off with, something that even the WNBA, when you talk about the WNBA not being big and whatnot, I got one better for you. Women's Professional Hockey League. We've got it.
That is a thing?
That's a thing.
It exists or it's about to exist?
No, it started last season. And last season was, so there's 6 teams. And last season, all they had was their cities name just like coming across. So you have Toronto, you have Boston, Minnesota, Montreal, Ottawa, and New York. You have two or three Canadian teams and 3 U.S. teams. It's a thing. But they finally got their team names this year. And the season's getting ready to start. And you know what? It's actually pretty good. And because it's a non-contact, like you're not supposed to check, but they don't care. And that's really fun to watch. It's really fun to watch. There's a lot of penalty minutes because they don't care. And it's great. So you have the Toronto Scepters. You have Boston Fleet. Obviously, that's going to be my team, which is a pretty great logo. While I'm doing this, you should look them up. You should look it up. So Professional Women's Hockey League, so you can see what I'm talking about. You have the Minnesota Frost. You have, and this one, I hate to say it because Boston in hockey for the Bruins, always against Montreal Canadiens. Like they have a deep, deep rivalry. They were one of the original teams, or the 2 of the original teams. But Montreal Victory, they have a legitimately sick logo. It's pretty great. You have Ottawa Charge and the New York Sirens. And the New York Sirens, very New York. So on brand for that. Yeah, there it is, man. There it is. As you pulling it up. I mean, I know you don't get to see all the other ones great, but I really like Boston. So it's a fish hook and it looks fantastic. But I do got to say, I think the Montreal Victory, that one in the middle is just, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
I'll take a legitimate take on just the logos. What do you think?
Let's see. Let me pull it up where I'll go down.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't look good, but
I know.
Yeah.
Women's professional hockey, man. It's a thing. Because normally any hockey fans only watched because international women's hockey with Canada, US. That was pretty much it. And those are really good games because those are actually really good players. It's really fun. So that's happening. So I knew that would spook you a little bit. So moving on from that, here's a fun one. So if we all remember the Olympics, Ray Gunn, that wonderful breakdancer from Australia. So originally, a few days ago, like a week ago, she posted out that she was going to say it's a $10,000 challenge if there could be a better dancer than her. And everybody was like all about it. And then what broke out today, actually, or 2 days ago. No, this was 4 days ago was the contest. Today broke out that she said she's retiring from breakdancing because of the hate that she got back. And all the conspiracy theories about how she wasn't the legitimate candidate coming out. And she's ranked world number 1 female breakdancer. which is just, and it's because she went to the Olympics. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. Um, but yeah, no, that's she's retiring from breakdancing because she's been made a mockery of because people don't understand what breakdancing is.
Well, also, I'm sure Halloween didn't help, where I'm assuming a bunch of people
Oh
are
yeah,
dressed
it's all
up.
about her mental health, and you know what?
Okay.
You did it upon yourself, and if you look into it on how she ran the committee and she did not let people actually try out for it, yeah, really
Yeah,
really bad.
weird
Um,
stuff.
yeah, weird stuff. Now we're gonna get into some more logistic, reasonable things. Um, so this one was just fun. Did you watch the Anthony? This is Anthony Richardson getting benched for when he and then when he got benched, he was yawning.
No, I did not.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, my son. He's pulling everything. Colby. He's
This
got
is
like 3 wires. Oh my goodness. Anyway. But yeah, no, so he's on the sideline yawning. And that does not help your case of, when you come off the field saying you need a break because you are um
Yeah,
because
you're
oh,
exhausted.
you're
You're tired.
exhausted, whatnot, and then you're just over there yawning. Like, all right, that's just a bad look. That's really funny. But the clip that I saw it's from the game. It's the game clip. They're talking about him coming off, and then so this was when he was benched last week. Um, and they're talking about what happened the week previous. And right as soon as they talk about that, they pan over to him, and he's yawning on the bench, and it's great. It's great. So that's that one. Now we got over to we did start college basketball, my friend. And this one I'm just gonna go through 1 through 25, just tell you who's who. We already have a couple upsets, and I'll get to them. But so this will be in order: Kansas 1, Alabama 2, Yukon 3, Houston's 4, Iowa State's 5, Gonzaga is 6, Duke is 7. Baylor is eighth, but they are going to get knocked out down a little bit. But they did play Gonzaga, so they started off. We already had a 8 versus 6 power ranking, so not. Oh, why did that go away? Oh no, why it went away from the rankings. But so they did lose. So I don't expect Baylor to go too far. Then you have North Carolina at 9, Arizona at 10, Auburn at 11, Tennessee at 12. Texas A&M was a legitimate loss. They lost, and bad on them. They lost. Who did they lose to? It was nobody. Oh, it was UCF again. So they lost to UCF in a 3-point game. That is not how you want to start your season when your ranked team is to lose your first one. Then you have Purdue, Creighton, Arkansas, Indiana, Marquette, Texas, who did lose. Texas did lose to, what was this again? Pull up. They lost to Ohio State. Yeah, gross. Moving on, then you have Cincinnati, Florida, UCLA, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Rutgers. So honestly, it's pretty much all the same faces that you would expect in college basketball. Um, so we shall see how that continues. Obviously, the Gonzaga is going to move up after beating number 8 Baylor. That's going to be a good win for them to start their season. Um, and then lastly, I have for Casinos Corner is NBA Power Rankings, and I'm bringing this up last because I have a question for you.
Yeah.
The Cavs are 9-0. How
Yeah.
good are they? Do you think this team is this just a good start, or do you think they have the legitimate fortitude to make it to the finals?
Well, I've actually loved, as I've talked about on this show, I've loved how this Cavaliers team has been built for the past couple seasons.
Yeah,
I've always liked this Cavaliers team, but if they're real contenders, I don't know. I mean, right now they're arguably the best team in the entire league. I mean,
well,
they
they're
are
sitting
the
at
only
9 and
one.
0.
Yeah, and the closest ones next to them are who everybody thought would be good. I mean, but again, it's a long season. We just started. I think it's temper your expectations and then overreact to the teams at the bottom. Much like I think really the stories coming out of the NBA right now are the Sixers being 1-6, and then Embiid is like talking about how you can't criticize him
Right.
because of how
That
much
was
he's
gonna be
done for the
glad you
city.
bring that up. That was gonna be a talking point.
Yeah, which is I don't know what he's done for the city except be paid millions of dollars to play basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know what else he's done, but
So I'm going to
okay.
give you my picks for the finals, and I want to
Ooh,
see if you agree for this. So I mean, I
okay.
was right last year. I mean, I don't know, I wasn't right about the West, but I got the East right and the winners. But I'm going to go Celtics repeating, but they're going to
Uh,
do it against the Kansas City or the Oklahoma City Thunder.
yeah, I do think that's probably a very or that is a very popular pick for the finals. I tend to agree, but again, I think I don't know. Does Golden State have one more run in them? I don't know. Phoenix, can they get there again?
This is
I
what I deal
think
with. Oh, you just missed it. You slapping my face.
I do think the panic button can be hit for like the Nuggets, even though
Ow.
they're 5-3 right now. It's just they just seem like a one-hit wonder as being the best team in the West for a couple years there. But yeah, I think right now you have to temper expectations with the records are, except when it comes to the Bucks and the Sixers, because those two being one-win teams right now is really, really crazy, especially for the Bucks, because you don't even have the excuse you have with the Sixers, where it's like, oh, with the Sixers, I mean, Embiid's not playing. So once he comes in, he's gonna start blah blah blah. Like uh Giannis and Damian Lillard are playing all these games. And it's still, I know Giannis has been day to day for injuries and stuff like that, but he's still played in these games where they've lost. So that is one of the things that I think is, he's played in 6 games. Damian Lillard's played in all 7, and they are still a one-win team. So that is I think Bucks right now are just like, oh my God, they were going to be a dark horse pick to maybe upset the Celtics. But I said it before the season even started. I think if the Celtics don't repeat, something insane has happened. But
That's it.